Um, wow, okay, it's quite a layered question. So I'll just tell you how we started with it. We went on a road trip around the country to all the possible, around South Africa to all the possible fly fishing advertisers, and we'd mocked up our very first magazine, saying, this is our background. I'd worked for mainstream magazines, and Conrad and Brendan had their uh, sort of qualifications with them as well in terms of their track record. And we said to all these advertisers, look, this is how different it's going to be. This is why it's going to be so special. And a lot of the guys responded simply because they were bored of what was already out in the market. So we already had a USP, if you like, that was completely different to what anyone else was doing. That was the one thing. To access the US market, where the main money is, especially in our fly fishing world, I went to the shows in the US. There's one called IFTD, which is the International Federation of Tackle Dealers, and another one called ICAST, which is even bigger. It's kind of IFTD is the fly fishing one, and ICAST is this much bigger one. And I would go to Orlando, Florida, to the convention center there, which is, I don't know, we're talking about a space the size of, say, 6 rugby fields, of which one of them was just dedicated to fly fishing brands. And this was advice that was given to me that if I wanted to actually make this magazine last and actually stick around for years to come, that I needed to go to these shows. And it made a huge difference. You meet all the main players in the business. You get to chat to them on the floor, and I know this sounds like the kind of excuse people tell their wives, but the best business was done at the bar afterwards, the hotel bar where everyone's relaxed, and you start talking about where you're from, who you are, and what you can do. And by this stage, we had several magazines published. I could actually go and show guys the quality, high glossy quality magazine, and they could see the stories. They could see how different it was to anything else that they'd had in the US market, and they could see that we meant business, that we'd actually spent the money to go and attend these shows. Now, I know, in the sort of digital era, it's much easier to do things via Zoom and all of that, but face-to-face meetings in pre-COVID times made a huge impact on our business. You're not just another meeting, not just another face on a computer screen. You're actually a real person buying them a drink at the bar. So that made a massive difference to us. When it comes to advertising, I have long lists of brands, target brands we've got to retain. It's quite a sort of juggling act because you've got to think editorially, to run the magazine and to come up with content. And then I also have to put on more of a sales hat and push what we're doing and future issues, videos we want to make, budget that we need from these brands, and to see where we can partner with them, because a lot of them are creating products for the fly fishing world. So you need a way to showcase their products, and that's why we sort of see ourselves as a concert stage at a music festival, and we've provided the platform for these brands to come and play. And that's where you've got to like pitch to them what the ideas could be using their products.